Okay, thank you, all of you. I just not going to speak too long today because I want to hand this off to the people that are more important. We're here today to give you information about the case surrounding the murder of Kevin Nishita. That case, as you know, had been charged and was heading in the direction of a trial. And yesterday there were pleas that were taken. I want to introduce you to Deputy DA Allyson Donovan, who was handling that case, so that she can give you further information about it.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank, this was a very important case. It was extremely important to the district attorney's office. We want to thank the Oakland Police Department, the San Francisco Police Department, U.S. Marshals, and all of the law enforcement agencies that came together and collaborated to get us to this great result. It was a complicated circumstantial case, but it was obviously a strong case and made stronger by all of the collaboration between the district attorney's office and law enforcement. I want to thank the team that I was working with, including my inspectors that worked extremely hard, and the victim witness advocates that helped remind everybody and deliver justice to the people that are the most important, the victims in this case. This is a victim-centered DA's office, and it brings me lots of joy to be able to deliver justice to all of the victims in this case and to Kevin's family. And I thank everybody for the collaboration in getting us to this point. It's obviously unprecedented for to get a first-degree murder conviction via plea, and so I think that speaks to the strength of this case and the strength of everybody that was involved in it, and I'm proud to have contributed to this case. Thank you very much.
I wanted Ms. Nishita to have an opportunity to speak with you as well.
On behalf of Kevin, I and our family, we first want to thank all the law enforcement agencies of all their hard work in this case. A huge thank you to the current DA office in driving this to the very end and getting true justice for Kevin. And mostly to my family, friends, and all those with your prayers, with your words, with your cards and letters and messages and phone calls. Without all of you, I wouldn't be standing today. So thank you. Yesterday, I was truly stunned that a plea deal was accepted. I'm numb with exhaustion. I've been faithfully in these courtrooms for 4 years, waiting for this day to come. And here it is. And on sentencing day, we'll be a step closer to where this nightmare can be over. I can't say that I'm happy because this is not a joyful occasion. Kevin will never come home. He has no parole released date. But these 3 men will, and they will continue their lives into their old age. And that's something that Kevin will never do. Kevin will be forever 56. These men will get out and they will play with their grandchildren. They will see their gray hair. But Kevin will never be able to do that. The sentence they're receiving is accordingly to the state of California law. This current DA administration abides by that law. So some of you may think it's not enough time because a life was taken. Well, look at the laws in place right now, and without a doubt, this is the justice that is in California at this time. So I think justice did prevail according to these current laws. Thank you.
So I want to say, this is about victims. That's the only reason I'm here. I didn't try this case. I made some decisions around it. But I want to remind everybody here that with every case that's charged, there's a victim that's at the center of it. We don't forget that. We won't forget it. And I want to make it really clear that these types of actions have accountability. I was on the bench for 11 years before I was in this position, and I don't remember a first-degree murder that somebody admitted to. So it speaks to the hard work from the police department, specifically the Oakland Police Department, and the DA assigned to this case. That she put this case together in such a way that that was the only option for the people charged with it. So I just want to continue to remind this group and remind the public that the district attorney's office is here to make sure that victims' rights will always be at the center of everything that we do. Thank you all. Any questions?
Can you elaborate on how this deal is so, I mean, you mentioned and your deputy mentioned that it was so extraordinary to get so much time on such a circumstantial case. Can you speak to that and why it was a circumstantial case and why this is so extraordinary? Because I don't think people get that.
I can speak to why it's extraordinary. Nobody pleads to first-degree murder. Like, that really is the top of the things that you could ever plead to, right? We've had second-degree murder pleas, but a first-degree murder is something outside of the pale of normal. Now, I'll leave it to Ms. Donovan to tell you a little bit about the circumstantial aspect of the evidence.
And obviously, as you all know, this took place on November 24th of 2021. And at that time in the Bay Area, there was, a climate of lawlessness and also of looting that was going on. These three individuals that came and committed this crime, they were driving in a car without the proper license plates. They were masked up. There were no eyewitness identifications on the scene. So what we mean by a circumstantial evidence is that the case was built not on direct eyewitness testimony, but more on the hard work investigation by all of the law enforcement agencies. I think the Oakland Police Department officers wrote in excess of 120 warrants for evidence to continue on, and those warrants were continuing to be written all the way through 2025. There was cell phone evidence that was key to this case, as well as extractions of cell phones, but all of the pieces of the case were built with other evidence besides direct eyewitness testimony based on the manner in which this crime was committed with concealed identities.
Can you explain the initial discrepancy in which I think we were told Shadahia Mitchell was the shooter, and then now we know LaRon Gilbert was, number one. Number two, confirming as we stood this week before yesterday, confirming there was no special circ charge because they were removed by the prior administration.
Just starting in the beginning, obviously the investigation was from 2021 all the way through to yesterday, continuing on. And I think early on in the investigation, there were some ideas or early thoughts that Shadahia Mitchell could have been the shooter. However, all of the rest of the evidence that was uncovered as the years went on, including forensic evidence that was done even into the year of 2025, very clearly established that LaRon Gilbert was the shooter. And I think the plea yesterday also establishes that as well. And in terms of the special circumstances, yes, those were taken off by the prior administration, and then gang enhancements were still in place at the time of our current trial.
And how much time will they be served for that plea?
LaRon Gilbert has accepted a deal of 30 years to life in the state prison. He pled to a first-degree murder as well as some gun enhancements to get to the 30 to life. Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Hale pled guilty to robbery, a gang enhancement, as well as a use enhancement, and they'll be serving 25 years in custody.
Virginia, can I ask you a question? when there was talk of a plea deal before, can you tip that center mic down a little so it's not, just tip it, yeah, that's better, so we can see your face. When there was talk of a plea deal before, it was different than this. It was not something you wanted your day in court, and yet now you seem pleased by that. Can you talk about that? What has changed and what has changed in this office, and why this is a resolution that you are, if not happy about, are settled with?
Ooh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's right. If anybody's cell phone can ring, it can be yours.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
When I first started this case, it was with O'Malley. And then it went to the prior administration. And laws changed in between there. So, and then laws changed again. So the plea deals that were from before, it didn't fit the crime. And this fits the crime. Of course, according to the law of California now, it fits the crime. Of course, my own personal idea is it doesn't, because Kevin never will come back again. But at this point, that doesn't, I have to go with what the laws are today in California.
And Virginia, piggybacking on that, might have the same answer. Confirming you are okay with the fact that there's no specials or LWOP in this case, right?
Right, no LWOP. That's absolutely true. And that's what I was fighting for, was an LWOP. But it can't be. That's why people really have to watch their voting and see what they're voting for and really understand that without these laws against people who really do crimes in the community, we really have to watch those. So we really have to pay attention to what's really happening out there when we vote. But right, it is what it is. Like I said, this is not a joyous occasion, and I can't say that I'm happy, but I can say that I'm pleased. And I am extremely pleased with what this administration did with everything, the evidence, and relooking at everything, and just all the hard work that they've actually put into it. It really made the difference so that I could get to something that looks fair.
And what do you want people to, who didn't have the
Dan,
opportunity to
let's
meet
give
Kevin?
one last question. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask her to talk about
Please,
Kevin.
Go ahead.
Okay. Can you also speak to the fact that, with this plea deal, obviously you don't have to go through the trial process that can be equally as painful and heartbreaking. Can you talk about if that was part of the decision and how you feel that you won't have to go through that process?
I think we have to just look and see, again, California law, how much can we really give them for this crime? And that's where the expertise of this administration came in and said, this is the most that they can get. And so we could have went to trial. We could have fought. How would I have been at the end? I don't know. This is 4 years I've been coming faithfully to this court. And that's a lot of energy, time, mental, physical, everything to put into this, because I had to make sure that Kevin was going to get justice. And I feel, again, that justice did prevail.
Hey, Virginia, before we wrap up, do you want to say anything just about Kevin?
I know he's proud of me and his family. And I know that with this administration, that the others that are still in the courtroom today are going to have a chance to get true justice as well.